So now we're creating the words for this one right here, if you need to know. I don't know if what you can see is okay. So during this part, what I usually do is I'll look at the image that I've drawn, and then from there I'll go and get the dialogue, and then I'll add the dialogue. I screenshotted the dialogue from my phone to follow, so it's like it's saying this is what I have to draw now. Hugh training with knowledge, captions, breathing heavy. Is that the best you got, old man? He dodges out of Hugh's knowledge's attack. But it's like you use this as a, I guess you could say, guideline. Like this is the guideline. I don't have to stay all the way in the guidelines. I could change it up a bit, but I have guidelines on what I want it to be and what I want it to say. So this is my way of trying to keep the story, you know. But what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna work with what I have, but I may alter it a little bit via dialogue or imaging, so that way it's something that I would want to put on page that I feel that I'm comfortable with, you know. So this right here, this is dialogue. Is that the best you got, old man? And then you know, dear boy, you've been calling me old man since we first encountered, and yet you still appear to be slower than me. So then I ask, who is in fact the old man, the old one? And then it says, comes at Hugh with a quick 1-2 punch combo, and as Hugh begins to block and dodge with the counter, knowledge comes with his own counter with his leg and kicks Hugh to the upper shoulder. But I didn't put him kicking Hugh. What he did was he grabbed Hugh and pretty much hip tossed him over him. And it says, thumb to the ground. He says, "Oh, I almost had you, old man." And then Knowledge walks over to Hugh, hands out and says, "Almost ain't it, my dear boy. Maybe next time." So it's like how you see it, I changed it. So let's start from here. And it says, and he's breathing heavy. Okay, is that the best you got, old man? So what I would do now is I would go into here and I would follow where it is. So this is where Hugh says, "Is that the best you got, old man?" Etc. etc. So let's add that. So I'll take this, make that white. I'm creating the bubble, not the square, the bubble. So, god dang it. There we go. See from here. Then we add the leg of the bubble. And then we zoom in. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Alright, so from there, I'll add the words. but I have to find my font. So that's what I'm looking for now, is my font. They're pretty much next to each other, so it makes it easier for me to use it. Bingo. And now it says that the best you have. Is that the best you got? I'm not gonna say have. Is that the best you got? Old man. All right. And then I'll enter that. So now I'll size it up. Step back. One moment. Dark Horse Art Studio, how may I help you? That was probably me. You was talking about the hands holding each other with the little hands holding fingers? Yeah. For a consultation? Yes. All right, we'll see you when you get here. My name is Ray. You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, so now finalize it, then I'll put it here, and then we'll make it fit. All right. What I want to do is keep the aspect ratio so I don't make it look weird. But that's a word bubble created. So it's not going to be much talking up the topper part. The upper part's a topper, topper part. Right? See now, see it says it there. Word bubble created, and this is within the guidelines of them fighting. So is that the best you got, old man? And then he shoots the blast at him. Like all of the special wording, like the ka-choom, the boom, pow. Oh, that's I'm gonna add all of that last when I add the coloring into the panels, because I feel like it'll be properly added because it's all colored. It's all colorful. So this, and then they fight each other. Then right here, it's gonna go to the caption of knowledge talking. So here, let's find out the dialogue that he was speaking before we go into that, so we'll know exactly what we're adding. So we'll go here. We just added, is that the best you got, old man? And actions in between that. So now Hugh's knowledge's dialogue is pretty long. So you know, dear boy, you've been calling me old man since we first encountered, and yet you still appear to be slower than me. So then I ask, who is in fact the old man? So this is what we're going to add into this, right? I'm trying to remember all of that, so I'm not even going to try to remember all of that. I'll copy the photo, I'll open up the app again, and from here, I'll implement it inside of the artwork, right? So now that it's here, we're back on here, adding another layer. And this one, we're going to shrink down. All right, and move it up. We'll increase the size of this, right? And then from here, we'll get another bubble. I'll cross it over the panel. Like I'm an old school comic book artist. I'm not like the new school guys. I need to start reading comic books again like I used to. I still read them, but not as much and not as often. But I will be getting back into it so that, because when you read, you take notes and you realize what's in and what's not in. So it says, dear boy, you've been calling me old man since we first encountered, and yet, comma, you still appear to be slower than me. I'm gonna take this out of caps because this is, to have this all in caps is insane. I'll space that out. Backspace, quotation, and then period. So then I say, so then I ask, so then I ask, comma, who is in fact the old one? Now that that's created, right, we shrink it down, but what we want to do is that we want to select all of it, go here, copy, let's see what happens.
As a person living with diabetes, I'm all about making progress.
Bam. There you go.
Overhauling your life or always being perfect. Making smarter choices with my Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is easy.
So
No finger sticks.
we start editing.
It's the little wins, baby. And getting one at half the cost of other CGMs. But that's a big win. Try for free at freestylelibre.us/cherry. Southern New Hampshire University makes it possible for working adults and parents to accomplish their dreams. We are thrilled to be celebrating our graduates.
Estimates you, it's worth it in more ways than you can probably even imagine.
As you start that momentum, get that first class going, the rest just really falls into place.
Bam.
Anyone that feels like college is impossible,
Okay.
I'll be with you.
Now from here,
Say today that it is
I'll remove the ratio,
Go to SNH
the equal ratio,
to get started.
equal ratio, and I'll just start filling it inside the bubble.
Of course they take Discover. You're stuck in the past.
Bam.
Unlike me.
Oh, hold on.
Discover's accepted at 99% of places nationwide.
Totally.
The loaded Italian has classic flavors with an Arby's flair. It's more American Italian than Italian. Just like
Let's bring that down again.
and people line up to see him.
Done.
Arby's, we have
Now it says, you know, dear boy, you've been, I guess it can be a comma there too, like making dialogue along with everything. It's crazy.
Have you had your Hershey's?
No. You check it. You know, dear boy, you've been calling me old man since we've encountered, since we first encountered, and yet you still appear to be slower than me. So then I ask, who was in fact the old one? And that's done. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote, buddy. Now we take this, we take this, remove it, right? And we get a bubble, leg. I guess you can call it, I know it's not called a leg, it's called a balloon tail, sorry. And we add that here. All right. And now we see that the page is almost complete just by doing that itself. So what next we want to do is turn the panel separators, these lines, we're going to make them black. All right. So take this and increase the size. Bam, bam, bam. And now we get a straight line tool. Go above, add another layer, and make it a little thicker. All right. I want a straight line tool. I don't want the one that bends. So this is a 19. Now I'll turn this into a 21, 22, 21. And then this. Nope. Nope. And then after that, seeing instead it's crossing over that, I'll take the erasing tool. And now remove it. Done. So now it's behind it. And then we increase the size of the edges of the image. All right. That's okay for me. Then I'll take the straight line tool and make it as thick as I need it to be to go down the edges that I just gave space to. So now, nope. Now we size it up. Bam, we got that one. All right, we do here. Get a little closer. Cool. And now the layer is done. Ta diddly da. And you can see it for yourself. All right. Word bubbles and everything included. All right. So this is what we got. This is what we got done for the day. All right. Check it out. All right. Hola. But yeah. And we are done. And I hope everyone enjoys themselves today. And I hope you had fun while I did this. All right. I'm going to talk to you later. Goodbye.